Good morning, everyone. Myself, Sanket Paraday. I am working as a senior cloud solution architect at Hosting Services Private Limited, Cloud.in. I am excited to welcome you all for the Cloud.in meetup. Today, we are diving into the transformative topic Introduction to AWS Revolutionary AI with Generative Models. So we will walk you through why Bedrock matters, what it can do, and how you can start using it today to power your own AI use cases. Basically, as world is evolving into the AI world, so how or what services we can use from the AWS cloud OEM platform, and which would help us to make our whatever the business requirements and whatever the rules are there in terms of the technology where we can do it in a very efficient way. Before we jump into the technical content or whatever, let us just have a summary of our hosting services. So here is a quick overview of who we are. Hosting services is kind of around 25 years old company operating from two active locations with more than 75 professionals, candidates, means employees we are holding. So we are successfully completed over 130 plus migrations, 100 plus certifications are there, and we manage more than 250 cloud workloads within 24 by 7 support with a knock and sock team. Our mission is to help organization harness the power of cloud effectively and securely. Our main motive is that basically. At Cloud.in, we offer a full spectrum of cloud services. To name a few, as you can see on the screen, but from a implementation, migration, billing, managed services, cost optimization, and now even the generative AI offerings we do have. This ensures that our customers have end-to-end support whether they are starting their cloud journey or exploring from the frontier of AI innovations. So you name the workloads, you name the sector, you name whatever in terms of industry, technology industry, we are there to help you up. We are there to consult you on the whatever your business requirements are, whatever your main pain points are there, whatever challenges you are facing from a technology point of view, from a cloud infra point of view. So definitely we are here to help you on that. And here are the industry verticals we serve basically, means from multiple sectors: the media and entertainment, e-com, information technology, government, pharma, FMCG, and etc. So here is the agenda for the today's webinar. So we'll start the understanding with the rise of the generative AI, why the AI came into the picture, why this generative AI has been a buzzword for the last 2 to 3 years, and we have been exploring into it. Then we'll talk about why AWS Bedrock is such a game changer service in out out of that. Next, we'll explore its benefits, core capabilities, and its pricing structure. I will walk you through a real world use cases where how this Bedrock has been implemented, what were the business challenges a company particularly has been facing, and how they have been using the generative AI service, and they have been growing and exploring this AI world drastically. Finally, we'll look at the integrations possibilities. Then I will just open up for the Q&A sessions where we'll understand your queries or any doubts are there. So at last we'll take it. So let's start. See, the rise of generative AI has emerged truly a revolutionary force, you can say, in a modern computing. Unlike the traditional AI system that has classify or predict based on a past data or AI, it has gone one step ahead. This includes automatic generation of content like writing high quality articles, emails, or even an entire books. Very simple example. You don't need to worry, okay, I need to draft a mail or you need to have any kind of a notes prepared. You can just open a browser, just go to the AI tool, you can just give your prompt, and in a fraction of seconds your content is there. So not only that, generating a code in multiple languages with this proper structure and logic, producing life like images, art based on any simple prompts, composing music or synthesizing voice with a human like expression has also become very easily available on a platform. It's enabling breakthrough in a field as diverse as healthcare, customer service, software development, marketing, and education. Now let's imagine chatbot that understand the context deeply, or any code copilot that boost developer productivity, or AI-driven content engines that personalize marketing at scale. So this everything is possible now. However, Despite this progress, many business struggle to adopt the generative AI. Now, why they are facing, we'll just understand. First of all, this infrastructure complexity. Training and deploying these models often require expensive GPUs, right? High performance networking and robust data pipelines. Lack of ML expertise are there. Most organizations don't have a team or a data scientist team or a AI engineers who can help them to grow in that particular sector, fine tune or refrain models in that. Data privacy and security is one of the major concerns with the sensitive business data, right? Every data has been a very much sensitive as of now in every country, every sector, every organization. So with sensitive business data involved, ensuring compliance and data governance becomes a challenging for them. So complexity of the infrastructure, lack of ML expertise, data privacy and security concern. These are the major three core areas where AI has been facing a kind of a effectively challenge. And this is precisely where AWS Bedrock make a difference. Okay, it eliminates this barrier by allowing organization to access most of the powerful foundation models like Claude, Titan, Stable Diffusion through a fully managed serverless interface. There is no need to build or manage your own infrastructure, and you can easily integrate these capabilities into your existing applications securely, and you can scale it automatically. In short, uh, I will just like to define key AWS Bedrock democratize or access to a generative AI. It empowers teams without deep expertise, AI expertise, to innovate faster, stay competitive, and bring powerful AI-driven experience to production with a minimal friction, I would say. So these are the is basically what is a Bedrock service. It is a kind of a fully managed services from the AWS. So these are the some kind of a Bedrocks where you can have it, the models for the infrastructure management and all that stuff. So coming to means to overcome the traditional challenges, organizations face very generative AI adoption like infrastructure, ML skill security, as I mentioned you previously. So Bedrock is a AWS managed platform for a foundation models FMs, and it significantly simplifies the adoption of Gen AI by doing three things exceptionally well. Fully managed model access. First of all, these are the kind of features I would be telling you. So these are some of the key benefits where we'll be getting. So just to understand now, fully managed foundation model access means rather than investing in a specialized hardware like GPU, right? Setting up distributing training system, managing interference endpoints. Bedrock abstracts all of the complexity. You get an instant access to the particular service, industry leading foundation models. Means you name the model, means as of now there are kind of a 50 plus kind of a models has been embedded in the Bedrock services which you can leverage it. To name a few, Anthropic Claude, known for safe and conversational AI and advanced reasoning. Stability AI, basically the stable fusion, powerful for text to image generation. AI 21 Labs, well known kind of a model, strong for text generation with a high language fluency. Amazon Titan, its own model, AWS has been introduced. AWS in-house model designed for secure enterprise use cases. Now you can pick up the right model for your use case, whether you are using a building a chatbot, any AI kind of a solution for summarization, creative content generation, or image synthesis. So it depends on you how you do that. Now infrastructure or ML operation overhead, consider a Bedrock like a serverless AI. You can consider the Bedrock as a serverless. There is no need to provision GPUs, managing scaling, or any optimized memory, or no need to worry about any patching. AWS handles the heavy lifting behind the scene, so your teams can focus on building, innovating, and not managing the infrastructure. This drastically has reduced the time to market, I would say, and lowered the entry barriers for companies that lack a dedicated data science team or any AI engineered team, I would say. These are some core capabilities we'll be looking at as we have been dwelling into the Bedrock service. So foundation model access, custom model fine tuning, agents for Bedrock, knowledge bases. So how we will do. So we'll just have one of the Bedrock key innovation is allowing customization of models using your own data. That is a key feature in the Bedrock, I would say, without having to retrain or fine tune the model manually. You can inject your business context such as product knowledge, or customer support content or any internal documents into these models, and you can use it as a knowledge base for you. So retrieval augmented generation is a kind of a rack. It's a kind of a basically a feature in the AWS Bedrock where we can do our whatever the model is there, we can just improvise it in a very strong way. Or you can also have that feature in custom fine-tuning APIs or select models with no data science expertise or any AI engineer thing. So whatever your concern about the features, about the models or data security, so it's everywhere there in present in the Bedrock service basically. Your data stays secure within the AWS ecosystem, and you benefit from enterprise grade encryptions such as IAM surveys, VPC integrations, audit loggings are there through CloudTrail and all. So everything is there in the picture. So let's now understand about, means we'll just delving into the customized uh, features of the Bedrock. So here is the overview of the costing and pricing, I would say. So how is the costing based basically going on? So it's a model interference with a charge per input and output tokens, means whatever you're giving the prompts to the particular model you're using. So basically it's charge on that particular input output tokens. So there is also additional cost for the fine tuning. Let's say if you wanted to have some additional feature for security on that stuff. So there is a kind of additional cost for model tuning and that stuff. And obviously the data storage and data, the standard AWS cost and data transfer cost may apply. So basically in whatever you are considering the knowledge base, it will be having. So let's now understand that AWS Bedrock isn't just about providing the foundation models. It brings a powerful set of capabilities that make a complete platform for you to build a generative AI application. Okay, so as I mentioned previously, so for the core capabilities, right? Now, just to understand ready to use models for text, image, and embedding generation, Bedrock supports pre-trained foundation models from a multiple leading providers. Now, these models are immediately accessible also via API, or you can generate, let's say now you wanted to generate some text. You can just give a prompt, I just wanted to generate text based on this topic. It will summarize the topic for you. It will generate a content for you, summarize a conversation, blog post, emails, and even code also. For the images, you can generate a high quality of images from a text from using models like Stability AIs or Stable Diffusion. Also, from an embedding point of view, you can definitely have a numerical representation of text used for search, semantic similarity, clustering, and many more. These models eliminate the need for training from a scratch and are a production ready out of the box. Means you don't need to have a kind of a sandbox environment or any kind of a, you can just have a ready for your production environment. Now with Bedrock, you can have a customizable model behavior using a proprietary data without needing an ML engineering skills. Because you maybe you're stuck into the, okay, I just need to have the AI or ML kind of a certifications or AI ML skills kind of thing, but it is not like that. You can just have to hands-on on the Bedrock service. You just need to understand the Bedrock service. How does it work? How does it give the capabilities to explore your AI automation in the picture? So that's all. So this allows you to align the model tuning, domain expertise, and output with your business context. Now, for example, a customer supports a team can train the model to use a company support knowledge base, right? Or a legal team can fine tune the models to draft documents using like internal policy language. So based on sector, based on requirements, you can have the particular model selected, particular feature embedded into that particular generative AI application. So it depends on you how you do your hands dirty on the AWS Bedrock service and get it fine tuned, get it output extracted from it. So fine tuning happens with a very secure in a AWS environment, ensuring that your data is properly having the privacy and all over the control of the data. So you don't need to worry about that compliance point. Third is the kind of agents for Bedrock or goal-oriented AI automations, I would say. So one of the Bedrock standout feature is the supporting multiple agents, which are intelligent kind of thing, powered by LLMs. Agents lets you to automate multi-step tasks based on a user goal. Example, if you have to book a flight and hotel, you can just automate it, get an itinerary for your any trips or whatever it's say. So you can just have that automation done into the picture, generating AI applications. You can integrate the external system using Lambda or API gateway or calling the API call. So it's not only limited to the AWS cloud. If you wanted to have your application from a third party, or you need to recall some kind of a third party service, so you can use the Lambda and API calls from that, and also to maintain the context throughout a user interaction. So basically these agents are highly valuable for building AI assistants, intelligent process automation, or a custom copilot for a business application to develop. Now, knowledge bases with the RAG, I would say. So as just mentioned about the RAG, right? The retrieval augmented generation. So RAG allows you to connect your internal documents and data sources to a model in a real-time basis. So this is the basically understanding of the RAG application, I would say. Instead of relying solely on the model's training data, the LLM can query your own knowledge base. The basically the data you store. Let's say you store in a S3 bucket, you can retrieve the most relevant chunks. Now chunks are the small parts of the data, I would say, or the granularity you will get in that, and that include them in a responses. Let's say you can go, because it will help you in the reducing your hallucination, let's say incorrect answers. That will help you in that. Provide accurate, up-to-date answers. It will be not only relying on the stuff that is present here, it can also check through on a real-time basis. Okay, let's say there is a kind of a match schedule, so what will the prediction for the thing, on what basis it will be. So they will be just considering the weather updates, whose player has been in form kind of thing, out of form kind of thing. On based on that, they will be providing you that insight as well. It also enable use cases like internal documents, QA, compliance checks, or any product manuals. So you get the creativity of a Gen AI with the reliability of a structured knowledge, right? And also it's a multi-model support combining text and vision. So AWS Bedrock supports multi-model models as well as that handle both text and visual inputs or outputs, enabling image captioning and interpretation, text-based image generations, or if you wanted to have document parsing like invoices generation, reports, etc. So the capability is a key in the industry like e-com, product image generations, or let's say in a media industry, AI-driven design, or in a healthcare sector, right? Scan record for intervention, or you can also have your use case key. Let's say you wanted to have prescription based on his patient historic data, where you can just get that data, historic data, and you can just predict, okay, this will be a kind of a consequences in further future. So all of, means you name the sector, you can use these models and you can get the output generated. So this is the overall Bedrock kind of thing, where you can have the features and whatever the embeddings to be considered. Now coming to the, means coming to the key automations, I would, the key innovation is allowing customization of models, right? Because you can use the RAG as a Bedrock knowledge base. Your data will be completely a customized fine tuning, or a select models with no data. Now your data stays secure within the AWS ecosystem only, because there will be multiple kind of a layer you can add up to. You can also consider the web application firewall service also, the WAF basically, to have the securely. And also you need to also have, for the secure access of the data, you can have a particular VPC to be considered. You can also enable your CloudTrail logging for the logging purpose. Also you can have the IAM service, where you can have the fine tuning policies to be shared in that stuff. So overall, this is a kind of a Bedrock transparency. Now let us move to the some of the use cases from the AWS. So Alita is a kind of a company which has been using the Bedrock for last 2 years. So which has gained a deeper understanding of customer feedback with the using the Bedrock service. So let's look at the Alida, a company that has gathered tens of thousands of survey responses. They used to have a traditional NLP missed nuisance. Now using the Bedrock service, they build a scalable LLM-based system to extract deeper insights from open-ended feedback. So they used to get a feedback from their customers. So previously they were using some traditional kind of NLP models, or the traditional way to get feedback from the insights. So now using the Bedrock, they have created a classification service that simplified prompt management, as well as also improved the sentiment and sentiment detection accuracy without managing any infra. So they used to get a feedback from any customer, or let's say from that user. They wanted to have that sentimental analysis done, ki how this feedback can help them to grow in future. Let's say if we are going to any cafe kind of thing, and we wanted to have a genuine feedback from a customer, ki how is the food taste, uh, how is the quality, what are the cafe ambience and all that stuff. So this feedback, they wanted to have the analysis done in basically, and they wanted to gather information from the data. So manually, it was a kind of a challenging, I would say, and from a NLP, from a legacy infrastructure, what they were managing, it was a very lazy process they were facing at the moment. So just they wanted to have a gone from a very automated kind of thing. So Bedrock was one of the good solution for them, where they got the feedback, open-ended feedback from it, which created a classification service that simplified their prompt management as well as improved their sentimental detection accuracy. So from without managing the infrastructure. So basically, this was the first use case, which was uh, they have leveraged the Bedrock service. Now, this is a kind of a solution, I would say. So you can, as you can see, this is a kind of a illustration of the diagram, ki how multiple service has been. As you can see, the orchestration layers are there. What are the models he has been using? How Bedrock is interacting with uh, the knowledge bases, and what are the services they are providing. So here the knowledge base is S3 as well as the RDS service also. So how the data has been stored into it. So what are the basically the tasks? You can see the uh, clearing, cleansing the task, tagging the task, or any translation services that. So basically, whatever you need to perform in your data, whatever your you have set the benchmark for your data to be tune, fine tune, or you wanted to cut and do whatever that's up. So they have been provided a proper layer of thing. So Alita Builder, it's not only done it for the sentimental classification, but with means just to have a proper kind of a automated way where they will get the data, which will help their users to providing a kind of a proper kind of a prompts as well as. So in terms of not only managing their prompts, also from a limitation of a constraints or from any abstract way, the solution has been delivered for consuming the application to have simple and stable API to work with. So combining this API gateway, RDS, S3, Bedrock, and whatever the tasks they have been using. So this has been very fruitful solution to them from AWS point of view, and they have been leveraging for the AWS Bedrock for the last 2 to 3 years, and more enhancement has been going on with their product. So moving forward, now here is the another kind of a use cases from Bedrock service only. So basically, the Happy Fox help desk is a kind of a SaaS provider service. So they have been implemented Claude 2.1 Anthropic via Bedrock service to automate and enhance their customer support. Basically, they used to have a ticketing tool. We are having kind of a ticketing tool for the responding for a ticket generation or any kind of a resolution. So Happy Fox was also using the same. So, which using this Bedrock service, the ticket resolution time has improved by 40%, which was a very much to meet the customer requirements or to meet the customer SLA, right? Which has been improved their company's functionality or any kind of a growth to the next level. And also from a latency dropped significantly from 15 to 20 seconds to under the kind of a whatever they used to have in the minutes kind of thing. And coming to the data compliance also, so data compliance also improved since everything stays within the AWS ecosystem only. So that challenge has been also met, and also they have been leveraging the properly everything. So this is the kind of a solutions data. So how they have been improving the performance, getting the accuracy of that. So as I mentioned, you right, the Claude 2.1. Now the multiple models versions are there, Claude 3, 3.5. As AWS is also evolving, they are also getting more models, whatever the more versions kind of a thing. So more accuracy on your data, more accuracy on your prompt management, more accuracy on your data security. So everything has been evolved, and you can definitely have that Bedrock into the picture and go your generative AI with the hands-on on that part. Now, these are the some integrations possibilities I would like to say you. So now coming to the Amazon Bedrock, which can be combined with the multiple AWS services. So here are some of the services that you can definitely leverage. Now, Amazon S3 is a kind of a centralized storage for training and tuning for knowledge bases. So Amazon S3 serves as your primary data lake when working with the Bedrock. It stores your document, images, and structured data using model tuning, or let's say a RAG implementations. Also from a Bedrock knowledge base, it can pull relevant chunks from S3 to inform the LLM response. So it can gather your information from that S3 bucket. You can respond to the model also. So you can also use S3 for logging and output storage, such as storing generated content for reviewing or auditing purpose. So S3 is a very much cost effective, I would say, and also from a scalable point of view, as it integrates directly with Bedrock via IAM roles and permissions. So basically, you just need to have properly the permissions and roles assigned to it, and you can ready to use the S3 bucket as well as. Second is the Amazon RDS or DynamoDB, which is a kind of a backend for knowledge bases. So you can just have a, let's say, pair up for Bedrock with the RDS or DynamoDB to provide is access to structured business data. Because every time it will be not like that you'll be having unstructured data and you have to just embed it, get the relevant information. So there will be some kind of a promotional data, transactional data, where the database with the database service would definitely help in that. So for example, using DynamoDB to store your product catalogs, ticket logs, or any user records. So which would help you in that gaining insight in more accurately way. So Bedrock agents or knowledge bases can retrieve this data in a real time as well as to personalize or validate inputs. So as of now, we were only dealing with some kind of a manual data, but if you wanted to have or deal this Bedrock service in a real data, definitely these agents will help you in this. So basically, this turns your GenAI solution into a context, I would say context-aware system, basically much more reliable and standalone model, which can no need to have a kind of any uh, database engine dependency or any service dependency. So whatever your data is there or in the structured way and structured way, you can definitely leverage S3 and RDS respectively. Now, SageMaker, I would say it's a kind of a advanced evaluation for the Bedrock as well as or advanced evaluation in the monitoring stuff. While Bedrock abstracts model operations, Amazon SageMaker is still it's a kind of a customized or customizable machine learning method or any kind of AI driven method. So you need to evaluate multiple models and compare their outputs. So you wanted to monitor your performance metric like accuracy, latency, or cost for interference. So where you can leverage the SageMaker service because there is a proper dashboard provided from a SageMaker tool where you can have your multiple notebooks. You can also have a multiple instance level kind of a ML models or kind of a ML GPU kind of a instances server. You can just leverage it and you can have your generative AI applications and done the kind of AI workloads kind of handled properly. So you can build an you can say assemble or you can build a proper system that combines the traditional ML as well as with the generative AI. It's because as moving from a traditional AI, the whatever the algorithms will be there, the legacy, the linear logistic algorithms are there, KNN. So you can just have this kind of a features considered in a SageMaker service because SageMaker it's not only for just handling the data or just handling the algorithm. Let's say a data scientist benchmark, analyze, and visualize how well your Bedrock powered application performs, right? So where you can also leverage the SageMaker service and have the integrations done with the SageMaker. Amazon Lex now Amazon Lex is basically the feature with native services from AWS which add your voice capabilities to your chatbot. So let's say we are dwelling into kind of a voice commands and all that stuff. So adding conversational voices interference, you wanted to create some voice enable assistants or any IVR systems powered by generative AI. So where you can use Amazon Lex. So use of Amazon Lex to add natural language voice and route their conversation logic to Bedrock. For instance, let's say Lex handles speech to text and manage conversation flow and also Bedrock can handle the contextual understanding, summarization, or content generation from it. Let's say you wanted to have some speech to be given and you wanted to have it kind of a fine tuned from a very much youth centric point of view, what you can leverage or what are the new updates that youth is getting attracted towards your thing. So where definitely multiple kind of a politicians you can say or any kind of a speech motivators. So this can be leveraged this Amazon likes in that terms where you can then fine tune your data and get relevant kind of a connectivity data from your users point of view. And also it responses can convert back to voice using Amazon Poly, where you don't need to have just give it from a voice command. Also, you can hear it from a voice command only by using the Poly service. So together, this creates a fully conversational intelligent assistant experience. So it's not only about giving just prompt and just having the data generated. So it's about only having the voice assistant, how you can have your voice commands and a AI kind of thing. And last one is the AI with the AWS Lambda plus the API gateway, which is a kind of a serverless service. So if you wanted to have any event-driven integrations with AWS Lambda, you can make your Bedrock Power Apps event-driven and stateless also. So you don't need to rely on a kind of a infrastructure part. So let's say you can just trigger the Bedrock calls when you use the submit of form, and you can just definitely ask a question or upload a file. So this is the kind of getting the Lambda executed properly, or using the API gateway to expose the Bedrock backed service. As you can see in the API gateway, the REST APIs are there, or the WebSocket APIs are there. So you can use the one of the APIs and you can just have expose it to the public facing world kind of thing. Also, it is a very much perfect for building a lightweight microservice applications where now we are evolving into the kind of a modernized world. The EKS, ECS kind of a containerized applications are there where you can also have build your applications using this kind of a Bedrock service, microservices, bots, or any let's say Slack or team integrations can be also done through this API Lambda service. So the architecture is very much highly scalable or let's say low cost and simplifies the also your DevOps and CI/CD pipelines as well as. So as you name it, it will be on a very high level part, and you can have this Bedrock services enabled. Yeah, so we are just open up for the Q&A sessions. So whatever related to means you wanted to have any kind of a any queries or any kind of a queries are there, you can just raise your hand or you can just put them in the chat section where we can take it. And till that we can, I will be in a mute mode. If any question arises, let me know. Okay, I think there are no more questions as of now. So requesting you to fill this feedback form, which will help us to gain means whatever your new topics are there or any kind of a recommendations are there from your side. So it will definitely help me or boost our organizations key which topic needs to be considered or how we need to evolving into multiple topics. So please share your feedback. The feedback link form has been shared on a chat window. So you can just give your feedback. It will take less than 2 minutes. And if you are having any kind of a queries, you can just feel free to raise your kind of a mails to sales@cloud.in email ID. And we are happy to consult you. We are happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you from a AI kind of a booming world. Yeah. Thank you.